Hi, I'm Gina George, one half of the interim artistic directing team here at Magenta Theater and director of 13 Spooky Stories. We have 11 actors that have adapted and recorded and acted in their own spooky stories. They're amazing. So please, if you can, and you enjoy watching them as much as we enjoyed filming them, please give a little donation so we can continue to bring you some fun content. These stories are appropriate for kids about 10 and older, but please, if you think that they can't handle it, review it yourself first. So sit back, relax, and enjoy 13 Spooky Stories.
Isn't this nice being out here in nature with a little campfire underneath the light of a full moon? Why, full moons remind me of my mama and daddy. You see, it was a full moon the night my daddy proposed to my mama. He was in the town square waiting for mama, and there was still a little nip in the air, but daddy could smell spring coming, and as he jingled the engagement ring in his pocket, well, he just knew a June wedding would be perfect for the two of them. Well, he saw Mama coming down the path, and he ran to her and picked her up and swung her around in his arms while Mama squealed with delight. Daddy gently put Mama down on a park bench. He kneeled in front of her and he said, "Sally, I love you and I want you to be my wife. Will you marry me?" Oh, Mama giggled with delight and said, "Yes, Billy, I'll marry you." Why, Daddy gazed at Mama with love in his eyes. His eyes dropped down and saw the red velvet ribbon around Mama's neck, the one she always wore. Well, Daddy was curious, and he asked her. He said, "Sally, why do you always wear that red velvet ribbon?" My Mama just smiled and said, "I must never take off my red ribbon." Well, Daddy was in love, and he let it go. But true to his word, June came along, and they were married. Daddy bought a lovely little house in a nice neighborhood, and they moved in. Why, Daddy bought Mama plenty of beautiful party dresses, but with every dress, Mama always wore her red velvet ribbon. Well, Daddy thought this was odd, but Mama would always just smile and say, "I must never take off my red ribbon." Well, the years passed, and Mama found out she was going to have a baby. Yes, you guessed it, little old May. Well, Daddy was ecstatic with the news. Well, Mama started talking to all her friends who had babies, and Daddy talked to his buddies who had children, and late at night they'd stay up talking about all they had learned until the big day finally came. Well, Mama was fretting because she wanted Daddy to promise to tell that doctor not to take off her red velvet ribbon. Well, Daddy was frustrated, but he didn't want to upset Mama anymore, and so he promised. Well, after I was born, Daddy brought Mama a big bouquet of flowers, and Mama was awfully grateful for those flowers, but even more grateful that Daddy had kept his promise. He told the doctor not to take off her red velvet ribbon. Well, he was frustrated and was about to talk to Mama about that, but Mama just handed over little old me and said, "Billy, this is your baby girl. We're going to call her Wilhelmina, and we'll call her Billy, just like you." But you see, truth be told, I wasn't just like my daddy. You see, I learned to listen to my Mama. Over the years, I would sometimes reach for her red ribbon, but Mama would always take my little hands and she'd say, "Now, Billy girl, don't you touch my red ribbon." And I listened to Mama. Well, Daddy was like a dog with a bone, and that red ribbon gnawed on him over the years, until one year he got what he thought was a clever idea. Well, for their anniversary, Daddy took Mama out to a fancy restaurant, and after dinner, he pushed across a beautiful little velvet box, and Mama opened that box, and what do you think was inside? Well, nothing short of a diamond necklace, that's what. Well, Daddy got up and went to put that necklace on her and wanted to take off her red ribbon, but Mama grabbed his hand and stopped him. Well, Daddy went back and sat down in a huff. Mama just put the diamond necklace back in the box and closed it, and she said, "Now, Billy, I love you, and I will always treasure this necklace. But I warn you, don't you ever, ever try and take off my red velvet ribbon again. Well, when they came home that night, I remember it well. It was a full moon just like tonight. Well, that moonlight must have kept Daddy up stewing about that red ribbon. 'Cause that night he got out of bed and he tiptoed around to Mama's side. He reached out his hands and he pulled on the bow of her red ribbon till all that was left was a little slip knot. Why, he pulled off her red ribbon, pop went her head and rolled across and landed in front of the window under the moonlight. Well, her eyes flashed open and she said, "I warned you." Oh, poor Daddy. I do miss him, bless his little heart. But he had been warned. Well, at least I still have Mama. Well, part of her anyway. I guess we best get going. But let me leave you with this. If a woman tells you not to fuss with the ribbon around her neck, you best listen to her. Y'all have a nice night, you hear?